So welcome to Body Flow Physio. Today's session is going to be looking at spinal mobility. So we'll be doing a little bit with the lower lumbar spine, which is the lower part of your back, and the upper part of your back, which is the thoracic spine. So if you have got a little Pilates ball, 7 inches, the APPI ones off Amazon, you can normally get quite easily, or you can roll up one of your mats and just pop an elastic around it, and you can have a go with that. So if we start off with some cat-cow, just to get a little bit of movement and energy through the spine. So we're going to be thinking about dropping this area down and the area between our shoulder blades, and then imagine that you've got a piece of rope around your ribs and somebody's pulling that up towards the spine. So we'll just do a couple of general cat-cow to start with. If it's uncomfortable being on the palms of your hands, you can come up onto your fists if that's more comfortable, or just pop a little roll towel under the heels of your hand. Now come back into neutral, which is a nice flat spine, and pull the tummy muscles in, and we're going to start moving from the lower part of the back now and work our way up to the upper part of the back. So I just drop my belly, I let that movement flow all the way towards my shoulder blades, and then my head comes up. And then I start again at the pelvis, and I tuck that pelvis under and let that spinal wave flow up towards the shoulder blades and to the neck. Again, starting at the pelvis, dropping the pelvis under, dropping the belly, dropping the chest, looking up, press through the hands as you tuck the pelvis back in the opposite direction and let that flow come all the way up to the head. One more time in each direction, and you can really start to see where your flexibility is and where maybe you have a little bit of stiffness. And if you find you've got a little bit of stiffness, then just try and exaggerate the movement in that area a little bit more, so you start to get that lovely one vertebra at a time flow. Good stuff. You can come back down into child if that's comfortable. Keep the arms nice and active so we keep that heat in the body, and then come and lie on your back. Okay, now if you want a little pillow for your head, just pop that behind your head. So your feet are going to be in line with your hips, and we start off down here through the lumbar spine again, and we just flatten the back and then arch the back. So I'm just tucking the tail under and then releasing it. So we're getting a nice little bit of movement through the lower back, and then the ribs can just magnetize down towards the mat as well. Now if you want to go a little bit higher, you can start to come up and then lower again, one vertebra at a time, really tucking that pelvis under at the very end, pressing down firmly through the feet, a little bit higher towards the chest, and then rolling back, softening the ribs, tucking the pelvis under, release, one more time up towards the shoulders. Holding there, just pausing, and then releasing all the way back down, one vertebra at a time, all the way down towards your pelvis. So if I grab this rolled up mat, and again just make sure that that's not going to be anywhere uncomfortable, and I'm popping it naturally where my bra strap would be. Just find out where is comfortable for you. I'm looking towards my knees. I'm going to take the hands and just pop them behind the head so I keep my neck nice and long. I don't want the chin sticking up towards the ceiling. I want a nice long neck, chin down towards my chest, looking between my thighs, and my fingers are just gently supporting that. And make sure that that mat is going horizontally across your back and not in a diagonal. And you can very gently just release back and then pull the tummy muscles in as you come back up again. And I'm only just gently supporting my head, but I'm always keeping my neck long, so I feel that length in the back of the neck, using the tummy muscles to really help bring me back up. And I'm only going as far as is comfortable. And you maybe want to do 5 or 10 of those, just to get a little bit of movement in that upper back area where we can get a little bit stiff. And again, this should be comfortable and it should feel really nice. And then I'm just going to squidge down just a little bit further. Again, get my neck nice and long, tummy muscles engaged, and I'm going to release back. And it'll just feel a little bit different the higher up you go. But I'm getting a nice bit of extension. I'm actually opening up through my ribs at the front as well. But I'm trying not to let my ribs flare too much. You're going to get a little bit more movement doing this, but I don't want to be doing that. Okay, so just a couple more. Good stuff. Pull the tummy muscles in, and then I can roll down a little bit further and come back. Now, you can still do a little bit here. It's not going to be quite so easy, so we'll move on to the ball in a second. But I can let my head rest back, take my arms up overhead, and then just do a little bit of arm separation through toy soldier. Just allowing my back to have a nice stretch in this position. And then I can also do reaching the fingertips up. That's going to get a really nice bit of movement through the shoulder blades. And then just roll off to the side. Now, if you happen to have one of these lovely balls, then you can try it with one of these. Now, if you've got kids who've got a football, just let the air out of it a little bit. So this I've got between my shoulder blades now. And again, I'm just going to pop my fingers on the side of my head, just giving me a little bit of support, but not pulling my neck. Neck is long. And I'm just going to relax back. That feels really, really nice. So it is different with the ball. But if you've got a rolled up mat, or even if you want to take a pillow and just roll it up and pop a bit of elastic around it. Foam roller might be a little bit too firm, but you can pad that up with a chunky towel. And then I'm just going to relax here. Take the arms up. There we go. That feels really nice. So if you've been sitting at a desk, you find that your posture's a little bit round shouldered, this is really, really nice to do. And then I'm just going to support my head up and roll over to the side and come up into sitting. Good stuff. Now, if you want to have a check of that, you can come back into your cat-cow and see if it feels a little bit easier through certain parts of your spine. Back into child, nice stretch, and then come up into sitting. So see how you get on with that. Again, it's really, really important that you keep all your movement really comfortable. If anything feels stressy or strainy, just let me know. Don't go too far into the movement, just start to ease into it. So start off maybe with small movements, the first couple, working slightly deeper, and then by the time you get to 5 or 10, see if you can go into about a 95% stretch. So not really ever going to a point that you can't control it, that you also can't come back out of it again. Because remember, if you're reaching back, you also want to have the abdominal control to help bring you forwards. So just make sure that you keep your body safe and you keep your body comfortable. Hope this helps.